This is a Suboptimal podcast. Check out our suboptimal content at suboptimal.co.
All right, everybody. Welcome to episode number 10 of 2.5 Weebs. This week we're discussing Baccano, an anime that Comfy has seen countless times. It's about
don't understand it.
It's like mafia, some shit. I don't know. There's like some immortality potions. I don't even know. I was very surprised to see the dude regrow his fingers. I was like, what the fuck? What?
Like all the bloods. I'm pretty sure like you're like watching it and you watch in the first episode the like young kid gets his head smashed in and then all the blood just like sucks back into his body and you're like
Yeah.
It shows the young kid getting shot with a shotgun in the head. Like,
oh yeah, it was pretty.
episode.
It was pretty bad. Very bloody.
Which was a surprising thing for people who were expecting that. I'd also like to point out, Comfy is literally on the comfy couch right now.
I am. This is
On a big comfy couch.
For those who aren't aware, it's
I can take a picture like
March break, reading week kind of crap. So Comfy,
yes,
the
it's
student,
spring break.
is home.
Oh man, Comfy's on the casting couch right now.
If he wishes.
Oh,
All
I
right.
don't feel comfortable with that. Ooh.
Oh, for YouTube's sake, there we go. There he is. Hi, Comfy.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Oh,
leave Comfy
God.
up on your screen.
I mean, what else was I supposed to do here? Now you're up on my screen, so
good.
it's just like an eternal loop. This is good for me. Now I can read both chats.
Oh man. Okay. It's Comfy on the
Aw.
casting couch.
It's hard to read both chats.
Is that an Overwatch mouse?
Yes, it is actually.
Cool.
It's got the little Overwatch
Oh yeah,
logo.
look at that.
Very fancy.
Yeah, it's the Razer Death Adder, which is my favorite. Always recommend. Razer makes some
I
very
haven't
bad
used one of those.
products, but they make some very good.
I use a Logitech mouse and keyboard. That was a $20 combo from Walmart.
Yeah, but you don't use those to play video games. You just use controllers.
I use them to do my work with, Dale. I draw with this.
Okay, well. My name's Copper and I'm self-employed. Need a dick. We all know you're fancy.
Mr. Manges. I'm in a happy, fulfilling relationship.
We've gone over the eating dicks thing. I literally even posted a link in your chat.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
yeah.
I'm on a no sugar.
For those of you unaware, he is referencing the Dicks by Mail service where you could literally mail
the
a
gummy
bag of
penises.
gummy
Yes,
dicks.
you can literally
Yeah.
send someone a bag of dicks. It's great.
You can send someone like an 8-inch dick.
Yes, you can.
Oh! Oh!
8-inch gummy dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So you know the giant gummy worms that you see everywhere, like the giant, like massive, like that big.
Also, for no reason, I gotta look how much that is.
Like
Oh, man.
you can straight up. There are very, very clearly gummy penises.
Oh, you can
All right.
add glitter. Oh, you can add glitter.
Wait,
Yeah. I think
To the-
audio.
what? Add glitter?
You can add glitter to
Glitter.
the package. So when they open glitter, glitter goes.
Oh,
everywhere.
I would be so mad. For one, I would have to pick up all the glitter. Glitter is the fucking devil. If
That's
you-
the point. That's the point.
Oh,
Is you're supposed to. I mean, isn't the website like literally ship a bag of dick?
Dicksbymail.com, I think, was the
Dicksbynail.com.
website.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dicksbynail.com.
Oh, man. But no, Kaylee,
Oh,
she...
you can send tits too. That's
Oh,
Yeah, they
boy.
do. I think,
But-
like, honestly, that company is like kept in business from like bachelorette party. It's literally all
Probably.
it is.
That makes sense. It probably
It's
would be that.
and assholes like us that are like, I have his real address.
apparel. Oh my god, there's a towel. I wish I could show this
Oh
on the
my
stream. I
God.
definitely cannot show this stuff
Oh
on
no, no,
stream.
no! This is not done on.
This is not a
Yeah.
whole. There's a belt that
Oh my god! Just like
front-
Dad used to hit me with.
the front side of the belt is normal. The back side of the belt is basically like one long dick, and so like you know how you always have like the little extra bit that hangs down for your belt if you don't tuck it into a thing. So if you let it hang down, it looks like there's a dick just hanging there.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
All right.
Is it veiny? Is the belt veiny?
I kind of wish they'd done that.
Oh my god, we're talking about too many dicks right now. All right.
So
Dicks
they also
everywhere.
made a certain type of toy that is literally the eggplant emoji.
I mean, I figured. It's
Okay.
vaguely penis shaped.
All right. So anyway, Baccano.
So back to the discussion.
Back to discussion off the mix.
So I want to lead off with.
Welcome to
this is
everybody
a
who's
show-
new to listening to this.
This is a show that I've seen like 3 times, and it's very complicated. I still don't understand.
Yeah,
Yes, this show is.
I
screwed.
understand. I totally understand why you don't like it, Dale.
I
Did you
didn't.
not like this, Dale, or just found it?
No, I didn't dislike it. But one of the big things is I have to watch it in my computer chair. Like I can't find a way to watch it on my
This is
couch at
not
all.
on-
If I had a laptop
Oh,
or something, I'd be okay. But
Fun fact: so Funimation used to own the rights to distribution for this.
right.
They lapsed in 2016, and Aniplex was supposed to get the rights back. However, they didn't go through any effort to get it.
Right there
show-
in limbo.
The show is actually in a state of limbo. If you want to legally watch Baccano, there is no way to do it unless you or someone you know already owns the DVD. You can buy it online, but it's
So
Your mic cut
it's
out
a-
really.
I'm sorry. I'm like trying to talk direct. I'm facing a little away from it. So there's been a lapse in the rights for it, and for the past 3.5 years, there's
Uh-huh.
been no legal way to actually watch the show, regardless of it. Which is
so-
unfortunate.
yeah, so there's no way to legally watch the show online unless you own the DVDs or know someone that does, or if you actually live in a place where you can actually rent shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's still a thing in some places.
Oh, I
mean,
wonder.
there
if-
is still one Blockbuster.
There is still one
Washington.
Blockbuster open up.
Wait.
They're
Oh,
they're
no.
holding on.
the final DVD rental place in my town closed down. I could go to Drug Mart and rent DVDs still, but they probably don't have anime.
What's the name of it? Redbox? Is that the name of the rental
Redbox,
thing? They
yeah.
might still do
Yeah,
stuff.
Redbox. I don't know if they have.
Redbox only holds like the most recent.
Yeah, they won't. They
You
won't
know,
have this kind of
Yeah,
shit.
they're
at all.
not. They're not where
Yeah.
I live.
I can almost guarantee you there's like almost no anime in there, if any. Like it.
There is
Oh,
no place to rent anything where I'm at.
Unless like a big name movie comes out, like maybe when like Dragon Ball Super Broly pops out onto DVD.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that might-
I don't think like anything less than DVD. Maybe My
I would be surprised. My Hero is already out on DVD, so if they don't have it yet, they're not going to get it.
I mean, I don't go to Redbox, so like, but that's like if there was something that they'd have in there, it'd probably be that movie, just because it's such a big cult.
Yeah, this is one of the shows where it's unfortunate that the rights have lapsed. It makes it very difficult to watch shows like
Yeah.
this. Some of them are very good, so it's kind of hard. But
Yeah,
there
it's
are methods to doing it. It's just they're for
I mean,
people who
take
are
a look
little
at
off-put by that.
Evangelion. That
Yeah.
that show has existed since what aired in the 90s.
Yeah,
Don't know.
One of the most influential shows of our time, and there's no legal way to watch it.
yeah, you can't watch it on.
It's on
for
Netflix now.
Next month. Next month.
Next month for Netflix? Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Before we go back to Baccano, just
Mhm.
since we're on a tangent, have you guys seen the new thing that's been added to Netflix? Was it Love, Death, and Robots?
No.
What?
Okay,
Is
it's
this-
a series of shorts that are mostly different, like animated shorts, and they look really interesting.
Huh.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what?
None of them is
I'm
longer
glad
than
we're-
17 minutes.
I'm glad we're having this many tangents while we're trying to discuss the show because it's
'Cause
almost
it's-
like
it's
almost like the
on
show's
brand.
cutting.
It's on
almost
brand
like
with the
this-
show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. The show makes
For those
it.
who haven't watched the show, who are listening, Baccano is a story that is very disjointed in that it kind of sets up the disjointedness in the first episode, where
It introduces it saying it's disjointed because it's being told from the perspective.
of multiple characters at multiple times, like literally in time. Like it'll be like 1932, then it'll go back to 1930 and show something that happened there. Then 1931.
It's generally between 28 and 32.
Yeah,
Most
so
of it takes place in
moves around.
Chicago. The whole like pinnacle of it is everybody getting onto the train, the Flying Pussyfoot.
Yep.
Which is where every episode ends. But like the first episode starts because you're getting the story from the perspective of not from like the multiple characters, but from the perspective of a newspaper. who's trying to tell the story. And so he's showing how he would tell the story in a way that, while not chronological, makes the most sense. Which is funny because the show, like, even then, like, you watch the first episode and it gives you snippets of everybody. Then you watch the second episode and you see Isaac and Miria, and you're like, okay, well, I already saw this. And then it keeps going, and you're like, okay, well, I guess we're following this storyline now. And then it ends, and then you cut to Firo, and it's like, okay, well, I've seen Firo's part already. And then it follows through with Firo and all that stuff. Which, by the way, watching it again with the English dub, I realized that Firo's voice actor is the Drifter, but he just has like a Chicago accent on it. It's so good. Just imagine the Drifter with a Chicago accent telling you to bank those motes.
Yeah. So yeah, the show is kind of disjointed. It does make sense, but
it's something you need to pay attention to. It's not a passive.
It's not a passive watch. It's a very active watch. You have to kind of pay attention. There are a lot of characters. It does move around. It's very interesting. But it's, if you ever seen a movie that does this, where they kind of move around in time and slowly piece everything together, right before the climax, and then there's the payoff for that. This is kind of what the show is like.
Yeah.
But if you don't like that type of storytelling, you're not going to like the show at all.
Absolutely not. I was like watching it too, and I was watching it, and immediately I was like, I don't think Dale is gonna like this just because of how like unnecessarily complicated it makes itself in the beginning. And that's not a bad thing. Like, it's completely a preference thing, because I like that about it. I like, because the show is ridiculous too. Because then you have all the different sets of characters. Like, you have the bombers who are trying to bomb the train, who are a little more serious, than you have Jacuzzi, who's like freaking out. You have Isaac and Miria, who are kind of just batshit insane, and that's why I love them so much. You have like I forget what the crime. You have the Gandor crime family, and the other one that starts with an M that's a little. And then you have that weird guy that everybody hates, who like murdering his wife or.
The show has a lot of interesting characters. You probably haven't met them all yet, Dale, from only seeing the first 3 episodes.
Right, probably not. No, I wouldn't have. No.
Because you haven't like really met the kid, and you haven't really met the second crime.
You also haven't really met the woman in the black suit. You haven't really met the alchemist guy yet.
Yeah, so it gets even more complicated, huh? Okay.
So it shows a few more characters, and they help fill in the gaps.
It's very disjointed at the beginning. It streamlines very hard.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
that's cool.
Like at
that's
this
good.
point, it's just trying to show like the base of every character and how they all got to the train. Then it's about 6 episodes on the train, a flashback showing the kid. I forget his name, but it's complicated because he's like actually 800 years old.
Yeah.
Which they like allude to, but they don't like really talk about it.
Because at one point they go back to like 1711.
It's like
and stuff like that. So
yeah, it was like the boat coming across the ocean, right?
Yes, there's a boat coming across the Atlantic and that. Yeah.
That's where
like
the kid is
like
from.
a sailboat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the kid's like 200 and some years old, even though he looks like he's 10.
Yeah, because he became an immortal, and spoiler alerts, like it calls them immortals, and you like can pretty easily tell like Firo's an immortal, Isaac and Miria are immortals, the kid is an immortal. Like it's not hard to tell who's on that train, and who's not.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
There's a government conspiracy to cover everything up about immortals and things like that. So the whole thing going on to figure out. So
and there's the cult who's using the train to try to become immortals.
Yes.
Like lots of things going on.
Yeah. So if you're interested in shows that have like a complex, really deep story, this is probably for you.
Very
if
much.
You like mystery stories where things get kind of puzzled together over time. It's again a good representation. I don't know I can't speak about the dub because I've never seen it. But the original Japanese it's got great music. The actors are really good, so there's no really annoying voices. I'm looking at you, Goku. The animation is great.
Wow, poor Goku. He feels attacked.
Okay, but have you ever watched Japanese Dragon Ball?
No.
That's
Goku's voiced by an old woman.
Yep.
It's really jarring coming from
He has the same voice he did when he was in Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball show.
Oh,
Like, as a
yeah, I
child.
could see that
As a
being.
child, they kept the actress because it was
Yeah,
an actress
that
who
could
did
be
his
an
voice
issue.
because he was a child, right? Which is a common thing in the voice acting industry.
Mhm.
Right.
Because they have higher pitched voices and kids have higher pitched voices.
And because
They didn't
like hiring
change
a
his
kid for
actor
long.
out though.
As he got older, yeah, I could
As he
see
got
that
older,
being.
they kept the same actress, so his voice is like super high pitched, and he sounds like a kid, and it's very annoying.
Honestly,
Right.
like I got used pretty
You
fast.
do get used to it,
watching-
but it is so annoying. Like
it's
especially
so jarring.
when the dub for Dragon Ball is so bloody good that if I have the option, I'm not watching the Japanese, which is the opposite of everything I normally do, because I almost always watch the Japanese because
Yeah.
English translations, there's always some liberty taken with the script because translating Japanese to English directly does not work because, well, the languages are very, very different. And
Very.
there's sayings and stuff they have in Japanese that do not translate to English.
Right.
Not only that, but like the way that sentences are structured is
Yep.
so different.
And they still have to match, like the length of the sentence has to match the mouth movement still for the animation.
The
right?
length has
So-
to match the mouth movement and the pacing of the wording. So
Yep.
like if there's some like exposition going on, then they need to like reword everything weirdly.
just so it matches the animation. It's doing dubs is a very difficult job.
Very difficult. But so Baccano is actually one of the very few shows that I'll recommend the dub for. Because I said before, like a lot of the characters
Sound ridiculous?
yeah, because they have fun with it. It's a show that they very clearly had the voice actors come in and just have a good time.
You're like,
So-
fuck it. The show is weird. Do what you want.
Yeah, pretty much. But so like as I said, Firo, his voice actor is forget his name. It's the guy who plays Greed or the second Greed in Full Metal Alchemist
Right.
Brotherhood. It's
Uh-huh.
the guy who plays Drifter in Destiny, which we'll get to that in a bit. Trust me, I have very strong opinions. But so it's the same voice actor, but but he just throws a Chicago accent on it because 1920s Chicago like gangland.
Right. Here's the
And so-
gangster accent on top of shit.
Exactly.
boy.
So like there's a point where he's like in the shop and he's like, "Hey, you doing okay?" And like the shopkeeper's like, "You just got shot with 800 bullets." Like, "Nah, I'm doing all right. I'll be back in a second." And he's like helping the old man. He's like, "Hey, old man, is life really worth whatever's in that box?" Like it's and not all the characters have that. Like, and again, Isaac and Miria, two of my favorite characters, are just dubbed over, but they're from like California and they're not supposed to have accents. But
right.
all of the people, like all the Gandors, all of the crime families, they all have those accents, and it's
Right.
ridiculous and it's hilarious and like
Yeah. I was enjoying what I was seeing. Like in a weird, like I was entertained
Yeah.
and intrigued by the story. Like I don't know if it would be I don't know if it'd be something I would continue.
Well, I
The
figured
one
the
reason I would
the
need
second
to be able
would
to watch it
interest
on my
you.
couch. Like it
Yeah. If you could sit down and watch this on
Like-
your couch, I think you would enjoy this more.
I don't want to be
Just the
like,
fact-
this is such a stupid reason to not watch the show, but I spend like 40 hours a week in this chair. I like to watch it on my couch.
This
Yeah,
is why
no,
I
if
have a
there
computer
was-
hooked up to my TV.
yeah, no. Like I watch pretty much everything on my desk, so it doesn't make a difference for me.
Yeah.
Right?
But like
Because you live in a dorm and you don't.
Yeah, he lives in a dorm room normally.
Yeah.
like I have a TV, but it's in my living room and I have to deal with my roommates.
Yeah. So there
Actually,
you go.
Last night I slept on a pull-out couch and watched Dragon Ball Z on a big screen TV.
It must have
Oh
felt
man.
But yeah, no. So it didn't make a difference to me. The annoying part is just like finding a way to watch it, and
Yeah.
like it's one of the things too that like this is a show that I actually really really like, and I would probably buy it if I could. But just because like Funimation and Aniplex are being so dumb about the distribution in the West, there's no very easy way, which sucks. But that's how it.
Yeah, that's how it is with some
Yeah.
animes. It used to be like when I first got into anime back a long, long ago.
Copper's old.
If you couldn't find something on Teletoon, which is a TV station up here in Canada that used to play anime, quote late at night, which basically started at 9,
Mhm.
then you were pretty much, unless you lived in one of the big cities, shit out of luck, right? Like, because you either had to find like a VHS or, when DVDs started coming out, a DVD of something, which were very difficult to find back then.
Right.
Or, what people would do is that someone would get one of these and they'd make copies and they'd pass copies around or sell copies because
Yep.
that's kind of a thing that went on for pirating and that. Like it was very difficult to get anime out here in North America at the time,
Mhm.
because it wasn't really massively consumed. And if you wanted to download something from online, which was a thing, it might take you 3 days to download a 20-minute episode because that's what the internet was like. You
No,
know,
I mean, even when I was growing up, which was, 15 years after you,
Yep.
make you feel old real quick.
That's
Um,
okay. I date someone who's 10 years younger than me.
oh,
At
damn.
least.
If I did that, it'd be a felony.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I could get away with it.
You could. You could
I
get away
could.
with
I
12
can do
years
it.
in my country, Dale.
I wouldn't want to get away with 10 years. Any
Not talk about dating below the age of consent.
yeah, I couldn't date an 18-year-old though. That'd probably be terrible. Like just
I don't think
would
I don't think
probably
I
be
could date an
awful.
18-year-old.
I would probably hate it. Like not gonna lie.
See, this is
Hey,
why I
anyway.
went with 19 when I started dating a girlfriend. So it wasn't
That 1 year makes such a
that 1
difference
year.
there. Good Lord.
No, but so like when I was growing up, I remember we had Toonami, and that was
Yeah, I remember
to
Toonami.
watch
Yeah.
anime. It was on there or it wasn't. The only things that were on there was like super big name stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I watched like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh on like normal kids.
Yeah, like Kids WB on Saturday mornings played
yeah,
that shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I remember specifically the order was I would get home from school, do all my homework, turn on the TV, watch Pokemon, an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, and an episode of Jackie Chan.
Oh man, I love Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
But
good.
so,
I've seen
like,
some
I
of it.
remember like that was the order, and then like there was Toonami, which would have Gundam and stuff, and I never really watched. And we used to rent like Dragon Ball Z VH.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Saiyan saga on OG VHS tape, and we just like put it in and watched it because the only thing I remember is Goku running around with a hammer trying to beat Grasshopper, who I forget his name, like Jeffrey or
Yes.
some shit.
We training on the planet.
King Kai's planet, exactly.
Huh.
It was
Like, I
speed
remember-
training because he was slow. So
He was too slow, and he wasn't used to gravity.
yeah. So first you had to catch the monkey.
Yeah,
And
he
then
had to
once
catch
you-
the monkey, and they had to beat up. I swear, what the fuck is Grasshopper's name?
But
It's
yeah,
like
once
Jeffrey. or
yeah,
something-
it is something
stupid.
like Jeffrey or something like that. It's really dumb in English. So first he had to catch the monkey, and then once he was fast enough to catch the monkey consistently, he had to catch the grasshopper guy who was like 100 times faster than the monkey.
By the way, his name is Gregory.
Gregory. Okay, there we go.
That-
yeah, I
that's
knew it was
definitely-
something. I knew it was something dumb and like very English.
Something white as shit.
Yes.
But so yeah, I remember that specifically, like watching that in my old house, like as a kid, and being like the level of comatose kids are, where you don't have anything going on. So that was
Yeah, I remember when Dragon Ball Z started because I used to watch Dragon Ball when it was on TV because we had it on TV up here, and then they started showing Dragon Ball Z on TV. It's like, oh, this is great.
yeah.
To watch.
I want to go back and watch Dragon Balls. I just need to.
It's worth the watch. It is. Dragon Ball has its own animation style, which gets better over time.
Uh-huh.
And Dragon Ball Z evolves even further and gets better over time. They start off a little rough, both of them, for animation.
Oh yeah,
But Dragon Ball is very much a comedy show at its core, rather than a
Yeah.
fighting show.
Dragon Ball Z was very clearly a shonen.
Yes, they
Like-
moved directly into shonen because their audience had, aged out of the comedy genre at that time. So they're like, well,
they did the
let's
same thing
move
that
into this.
like Warner Brothers did with Harry Potter, which is
yeah,
like,
they aged their.
as the audience
up.
is growing up, like the content is maturing. Like you watch
Yeah.
the first Harry Potter movie, and it's very, very clearly a kids movie. You watch the last one, and people fucking die.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
A
I
lot of
mean,
people
you
die.
can't. That's how the books were, though. So
Yeah,
you can't.
but like,
but
but
she
it's
wrote
the
the
idea
books the
of-
same way, right? She wrote the
Right.
books the same way. She
Sure.
knew they were going to be released over time, and she knew the audience who got hooked on book one was going to be about 7-8 years older by the time the last book came out.
Yeah,
So
the content was aging.
Makes sense.
with
she aged the
reader.
content up through each book. Each book gets progressively more difficult, introduce more concepts, more characters, and more maturity, and concepts and stuff like that they go through.
Look at the
So
thickness of each like Harry Potter book too. Like they keep growing until you hit 5.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
Phoenix
then
is like super thick.
yeah, that's the biggest one. But I mean that's the one where like serious.
Yeah, that's the one where a bunch of people, die. Like people die and stuff gets really dark and sinister at that point, and then things get, they really get darker as they go for 6 and 7. So she was smart. That's one of the reasons Harry Potter hooked its audience so good, and it's still like enmeshed so much in people, is the fact that as they grew up, the books grew with them, right? And there's not a lot of content that does that. Dragon Ball, again, one of those things. They grew
Ages.
up with it aged up with their people, right? Like with the people who loved it. So they kept being able to enjoy it as they got older without feeling strange about enjoying quote unquote a kid show.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that like people were. Man, I'm gonna start my rant already.
Okay.
That's one of the things that people were hoping they would do with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. We were
Because
hoping for a darker thing.
well,
Don't go into too much spoiler territory. I still haven't finished.
I haven't finished it either. I have an entire world left. I'm probably gonna finish it.
I'm still on Elsa, like on Frozen World, so I'm not
Let
very
it
far.
go. Let it go.
Okay, they recreate that whole song
They
as
do
a cutscene.
1.5 songs.
As cutscenes. It was very strange.
They do that, and then they do half of "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?"
But seeing how popular, like everybody knows how popular Let It Go was, and then shortly after Kingdom Hearts 3 launched with its massive cutscene of this song reminding everybody how much they loved Frozen, they go, "Oh yeah, Frozen 2 is coming out."
Yeah,
That was 100% put in there as
Marketing.
advertising.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
advertising.
Absolutely.
Wholly advertising.
But there's just so much like that was something that people were hoping that they would grow in maturity,
Yes.
and not regress.
Yeah.
Not go
And
backwards from Kingdom Hearts 2, which was 13 years ago.
the dialogue is at times like really, really cringy at times in the game.
I straight up pulled up a video in my chat, like because my chat was like I was yelling about Kingdom Hearts 3, and somebody in my chat was like, "It wasn't that bad," and I pulled up a video of a YouTuber's name is Magikarp Use Fly breakdown of how bad the dialogue really is, and how it's not like nostalgia, like oh we think that like Kingdom Hearts 2 dialogue was so good, but then we play 3 and we think it's terrible because we're older. Like he played back to back. He's like, this is Kingdom Hearts 2 dialogue, and it flows very well. All the words have weight, and it all means something, and it actually got you a point. And then it plays Kingdom Hearts 3 dialogue, and there's just stop.
It
Now
feels like
respond to it, and now I'm going to respond to that after 5 seconds of dead time. And then he takes like 15 minutes in After Effects and re-edits the entire scene and makes it flow better and makes it feel like it makes.
It feels like it wasn't properly edited for.
I'm still
Is,
boggled. It's mind-boggling to me how Disney can greenlight the.
it feels to me like it would have made more sense in Japanese and fit better.
Also, did you notice that like almost all of the mouth
the
flaps
English.
don't work in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes, I know.
Almost
I ignore that.
they made an effort for half of them. If they made an effort for none, I wouldn't have given a shit. But like half of them work and half of them don't, and it's so annoying to.
I'm mostly ignoring the story, which is a weird thing to say in a single player story game. But the thing I've always enjoyed about Kingdom Hearts the most is the actual gameplay of the game and the worlds themselves. So
Man, I wish I could get like somebody to just stick to their guns on that statement. Holy crap. No, like one of the things is every single time I'm like, hey, I want to play Kingdom Hearts. Like, oh man, it's some of the best gameplay. Man, I don't really like the Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay. Oh man, but you got to play it for the story. Who the fuck plays it for the story?
no one plays these games for story.
The story. It's for the no, dude. Oh my god.
It's like playing Mortal Kombat
forth.
for the story. Nobody plays Mortal Kombat story. Like,
Okay,
that's not what it's
really
played
quick.
for.
No, you watch the Mortal Kombat movie.
Or Dead on
Oh man, that's an underrated movie. I'll tell you what.
Like what is it?
Not a bad
DOA Beach Volleyball. No one plays that for the story.
I play it for the plot
Or yeah, you play it for the plot. The Japanese version of plot.
and backstory.
That's boobs, Dale.
Yeah, I've
Back
seen
for your ass.
gameplay. Yep.
Oh, so before we get off of
So,
Baccano
yes.
for good, let's like really quick rundown. I recommend this show if you can deal with complicated things, if you're not too adverse to finding it yourself, or if you're not like, yeah, I think that's pretty much like if you're not
Yeah.
averse to finding it yourself, if you like more complicated things, if you like mystery stuff, I recommend.
Yeah, if you enjoy mysteries, you enjoy complex storyline. If you want to see something different than your standard anime fare, this is a really good recommendation. It's good voice acting, good story, good animation.
Actually, a good dub. The
music.
only other like 2 dubs I'll recommend are Dragon Ball Z and Cowboy Bebop. So,
Yeah. So this is definitely recommended for me. I don't know if Dale's going to stick with it because it is very difficult to watch.
yeah. No,
It,
that's like
it seems like I would like I don't know. I was interested in it, but it's just
It's
I don't know.
difficult to watch because by that chat and people who are listening to this on Spotify and such, I mean Dale has to sit at his desk to watch this. It's not like he can relax on the couch.
Yeah, like I like to when I want to watch things, I want to rest because
But
I
if
work
you
a
got,
40
like-
hour. I work 40 hours a week, and then I'm in this
Then you
chair 40
stream,
hours
yeah.
working on things. So like I would like to
So-
be able to veg on the couch a
Okay,
little
so
bit.
but if you if you're like me and you have a computer hooked up to your TV, or if you have a smart TV where you can just kind of look on stuff on the internet, yeah, this is definitely a sit down, relax show to go through and kind of binge and figure out the
Yeah.
story as you go through.
if I could watch it on Netflix, I'd binge it. But
Oh yeah, I would love this to be
yeah,
on
I think
Netflix.
it because it's short, and I don't really have anything I'm really into right now. Watching it,
I think
like
this would
watching
hook
wise.
a lot
So.
of people on Netflix too. Like
Yeah,
if you
Oh,
look at
yeah.
some of the shows
No,
they've been putting out, like the Black Mirror stuff, the Electric Sheep's anthology show they're doing.
it kind of follows that like
Um,
level of weirdly the
like if you like those type of
magical, I
shows
guess.
too, I think you'd enjoy this as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
this is a great show.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I had a good recommendation. Maybe.
yeah.
I actually didn't expect Dale to stick with it just because it's so unnecessarily complicated at times.
I figured things like with the first episode opening up where they're trying to figure out, like, it gives you a bit of a little mystery plot, which
Yeah.
always gets people interested, and then it shows the one guy getting his fingers cut off and then flying back on. I thought that point there, which is going to hook a lot of people, would hook Dale.
Yeah,
Okay.
I totally, like I said, I would. Seems like a silly reason to not watch things, but
No, it's totally reasonable.
It's
trust
totally
me.
reasonable.
The
I
show
understand
is a
completely.
pain
Like
in the ass to watch.
I sit in this chair all day for 8 to 10 hours a day, doing work and stuff like that. So I get not wanting to sit here to relax. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like if I was in like a more open setting in the house, rather than just in a small office, then yeah, it would be a little easier because I could still see the girlfriend and stuff like that. But
right.
like there's like I'm in like basically what's on a built-on section to the older part of the house. So there's just one door, and then the rest of the house is pretty much open. But I can't see any of it from where I'm at because my room is all walled.
Nice. Okay, so you two were going to be in cahoots and talking to each other.
Queensblade, let's do it.
What are we talking about?
And you were gonna throw something at me that was really gonna make me uncomfortable. Let's see what you did.
Queensblade would be horrendous for Dale.
How'd you do?
Listen, I'm gonna lean on. We can always lean on Kobayashi's Dragon. That's just a fun show.
Yes, there is the Dragon Maid show,
That's
but
a show that will make him pretty damn uncomfortable watch.
Queensblade will make him even more uncomfortable to watch.
Okay, wait, let me.
Like I'm just saying, there was like Queensblade will like was it the Exiled Virgin? I think is the one that's out. Let me check here.
The Exiled Virgin sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm an adult virgin.
I'm an adult virgin.
That button's so funny.
It's pretty good. I was gonna make it a bridged board, so I was gonna remove it.
Okay, so we don't want TV. Is it Rebellion?
Oh my god, there's
or
a new
Unlimited?
episode of Kaguya-sama Love is War, and I haven't watched it yet. Oh my. Know where I'm going after this.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay,
Oh,
so what do we got here?
Slime finished this week.
Did it?
Oh, yeah?
Okay, I got.
Okay, so
There's 2 special episodes coming out, but the storyline proper ended this week.
Okay. So
Is
there's
it the
basically,
whole
like, a
show?
couple of-
Or is it?
They left it at a point that it can be picked up for more.
Okay.
So that's good. There's two special episodes. One's called like Black and White, and one's called something about Veldora. So it's gonna have the dragon in it probably.
Right.
Okay.
But Slime finished proper this week. Also, I've picked up a new show that
Oh.
I will
Okay.
eventually recommend. So you guys remember Baccano when I made you watch from? I wasn't even in the show yet. I just made you.
You made us watch something. Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't remember. Refresh my memory what this was.
It's that there was the girl who weighed literally nothing and crab and magic shit. It was way weirder when I say it like.
You cut out a little bit.
There's a girl who's been like afflicted by some spiritual being so that she doesn't have any weight to her. And
Yes.
this
Yeah.
guy like helps her figure that out, and she's kind of a psychopath. But so there is a show
I
that
don't
aired
remember
last
this.
season. I made you watch it. You'd remember it. It's very stylized.
Let me Google this shit. What is it again?
Baccano. So I made you watch that. There's a show that came out last season. I'm sure you've heard of it. Very similar. It was called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. And it is literally a better version of Bakemonogatari. So it's like different afflictions. But so guy meets girl. Girl is walking around wearing a bunny suit because apparently she has lost the ability. No. She's lost the ability to be seen by other people. So she's walking around in a bunny suit to see, because if people see her, they're gonna stare. So that way she can be assured that she still exists.
Yes.
And then guy basically tries to help her out and figure that out. I started it 2 days ago. I'm on episode 10 already. I'm really
Nice.
Is a very good series.
I'm very much enjoying it. It's been on my list for a while. I just never sat down and watched it. And then I had a friend who recommended it. Hey, really watch it. Really
Cool.
so and then watching, as always, I'm watching Kaguya-sama Love is War, and Slime ended this.
Yeah, I was not able to watch one of the episodes of Slime because you have to have like Crunchyroll Premium to watch like the last episode, the most recent one.
Watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'll just like wait a week and then I'll get caught up with Slime because I'm enjoying that show. That's funny. It's got me interested.
It's a really
I like
good
it. Yeah,
Right,
but yeah,
so
I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I don't have anything to watch, so maybe I'll find.
here's a link. Have you tried watching Umbrella Academy yet?
Umbrella Academy.
Oh my
No.
god.
Oh, this.
Comfy click the link.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would you put that in my chat? Why are you like this?
This is like Western porn.
No.
I just scrolled down. Is that from it?
Oh no, that scene there is not from it. That's someone making a meme.
Okay.
Good lord.
I'm trying to think like what is just
Queen's
That's what
Blade.
Queen's
Is
Blade
this?
which
Is.
is hilarious.
Oh god.
Definitely
Why?
something that would make Dale extremely uncomfortable.
You also got to keep in mind: is Kaylee gonna stab me for making like her watch it?
I'm trying to think of something that would make you uncomfortable. Like I know
Gee, thanks.
if I think hard enough, I'll come up with something.
Gee, thanks.
Thanks, guys. I love it. This is kind of the point, though.
No, I'm trying to think of a show that will just I'm trying to think. I know there's so many shows, but like what I'm thinking of right now I'm thinking of like Rem and Ram getting abused, and that's 3-0, but that's also like 8 episodes in. I'm trying to think of just things that are unnecessary, like fanfic. I know
Huh.
Sword Art does that.
It does.
Sword Art has a lot of, but that's
do we
like
really wanna...
I no, I that's the thing is I'm saying like, oh hey, we could watch Food Wars.
Let's see. Most uncomfortable anime. Let's just Google this.
I think Food Wars is definitely in that list with the
See, okay.
sexualization of
All right.
eating food.
How did I get here in my life? I don't.
Ooh, that's a good recommendation.
Ooh, what is it?
I hate it. I hate it. I'm
I'm
already.
gonna drop this in Covery's chat so Dale can't look it up.
Ooh, you're right.
Dale's like, I gotta go look at that now.
Is that how it's correctly spelled?
I think so.
I know the show. That's like seeing that. I was like, I know the show. Let me see.
Okay, here's someone who said this show made his friends stop watching anime.
We could always watch Boku no Pico.
So let's look at that. Let's see what this is.
We could always watch Boku no Pico.
We cannot watch Boku no Pico. That's
No.
straight up hentai.
I mean,
Oh, so what is this show that I? What is this show about?
is
Which
this
one?
on Crunchyroll?
Elfin? I don't know. I can't check from where I'm at. Oh, School Days. There's one. There's a good thing that will make Dale super uncomfortable.
Oh,
It looks like it might be on Crunchyroll. It's making me log in though, so it's yeah. You have to be an adult. God damn it. What is my life right now, Jesus? Anywho,
I don't see it on. Be right back. I'm gonna.
Yeah, there are a lot of very uncomfortable anime, depending on what makes you uncomfortable.
ah, damn it. All right. So yeah, I guess this is what it's gonna be now. Me being uncomfortable as fuck this week. I'm to
Seems like a good
shamefully
idea.
watch this in seclusion before Kaylee stabs me. Gonna walk in. What the fuck are you watching? I don't know. I don't even.
That would be the reaction for Queensblade. Just,
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it for a lot of the shit. Like, there's a. Oh God, what were we watching? And she was just like, "What the fuck?" I don't remember what it was, but she just literally did not know how to behave or how to react to one of the shows that we watched for this.
what is this?
I don't remember what it was. But yeah. Like, she just does not have interest in watching any of this shit. Like, even something that she might not hate, she would just be like, nah, I'm good. Like, I watched Goblin Slayer with her, and by with her, I mean she was playing on her phone, and she was just like, that's not the worst thing. So it's like, okay. And then...
She has the Switch now, too, so, I mean, she can always,
Yeah.
you know...
Yeah. She's accepting the fact that I get the TV 2 days a week, like Sunday evenings and then Mondays. So, other than that, she watches whatever garbage she wants to watch. I don't make fun of her. And then she makes fun of me still. So there's no mutual unmocking of each other. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Although I think we need to watch that Flat Earthers documentary. What was that called?
Yes.
Beyond the Curve?
Behind
the Curve.
I think it is, yeah. It is mind... like... Some of the people in that documentary, because I don't want to give anything away since you're going
Okay.
to watch. They're so stupid. So mind mind-bogglingly stupid.
Yeah.
That you wonder how these people survive. Like they're that. Like there's one guy, you'll know him when you see him. He is butt fucking insane. Like he'll start talking, and he'll go through the things he believes really quickly.
Uh-huh.
Like in this one little paragraph, he basically spouts while he's talking to the camera, and you're like, "The fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the hell are you on?" Like, it's that nutty. The main guy who was there, the main guy is very articulate. He's very likable,
Just
but
still
his
thinks the
belief in
Earth
the
is
flat
flat.
Earth is like no, it's just a no.
Okay.
You will be rooting for him though to hook up with the redhead. I will give you
Oh,
that.
okay. All right. So
Yeah.
there's a love story involved.
A
Just a
little
bunch
bit
of
of love,
idiots
yeah.
repopulating the Earth. God, what
'Cause
could
that's
go
what it
wrong?
is. Well, they at one point they show a conference. Like there's Flat Earther Con, and
Oh.
somebody has brought their children to it, and their children are being taught the Earth is flat and believe the Earth is flat. And these people do spout that flat Earth theory should be taught in schools, just like the quote round Earth theory is, because the flat Earth theory makes more sense.
Oh my God. So I got Ogre who's saying that his wife asks him to leave while she watches her shows because she
She's
does
not
not
good
enjoy the
enough.
commentary. Relatable, bud. Have you ever seen Pretty Little Liars? I have seen enough of that by proxy because Kaylee loves that show. It's awful. It's a garbage TV show. And I mock her. I mock the show the whole time. It's awful. Also, God, what is it called? Once Upon a Time? Oh, God.
Oh well, yes.
Every season, literally every season, these people have their mind erased and they fucking forget what is going on. Because for those of you that don't know, it's like insert every Disney character ever, and through some fucking evil witch or evil queen did the curse and sent them into the real world and they live in Storybrooke. Every season they forget that they're fucking princesses and shit, and they have to figure out who done it and then undo it, and it does the same thing next season. It's terrible. It's just awful.
I'm walking over and I hear fucking princesses and shit.
Yeah,
Dale was talking about. He was talking about a certain show that is just
What
really
was
bad.
it called? I
Fairy
forgot
Tale.
what. No, not Fairy
I
Tale.
love fairy tales.
No, not
It's
Fairy
about
Tale.
tales.
Don't
It's-
talk shit about fairy
No,
tales.
it's about fairy tales. Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. There it is. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like a.
yeah.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah,
I
it's
side with you.
it's garbage. And we were talking about how bad Pretty Little Liars is as well. The shit that she watches.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, there's a character in the show who was sleeping with her high school teacher. Her mother is a teacher who works with her boyfriend, and she's cool with it. Like, it's just like,
Maybe we should watch Domestic Girlfriend.
please, God. God.
I explained to you what it was last. For anybody who doesn't know, it's
I-
about a guy who's in love with his teacher, and then he goes to a party and he ends up hooking up with this random girl, and then the next day he finds out that he has that his like dad got remarried and he has 2 new sisters, and it's his teacher and this girl he just fucked. So
Oh, man.
yeah, that's. Or we could watch. Hey, Copper, we can always watch Citrus.
Yeah, that could be a thing to make Dale uncomfortable. Oh,
I feel like that would make him.
Oh.
Make me uncomfortable.
I think I've seen the I think
You
I've
know
seen the
what
trailers
this
for it. Isn't it the one about the 2 sisters?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah, I've seen the commercials for it on Crunchyroll. It's very awkward. I don't want to watch that. No. No,
it's
thank
been
you.
on my list because I feel like I had at it.
Uh-huh.
It just I haven't watched it.
Hmm.
I mean, do we want to do uncomfortable, or do we just want to do cute girls doing cute things?
I want to make him uncomfortable.
You want to make them
Oh
uncomfortable?
God, why are you guys like this?
We could watch. Blend
Why?
S.
Why you gotta be terrible
oh my
people?
God, we could watch Blend S.
What?
If you want to make them really uncomfortable, Quasar?
So, what show?
Quasar, I think is what it's called. Hold on.
So, Blend S. You've definitely seen the memes from like the opening.
What is it? Blend S?
Yeah, it's called Blend, and then there's like a hyphen. It's a show about this girl who gets a job at like a cafe.
Uh-huh.
Basically, all of the workers have to do like specific jobs at the cafe, and hers is she's the abusive waitress. So she's like this super super sweet girl. So she has to like walk up and like her first thing she's like talking to people. She's like, "Do you like your coffee, you fucking maggot?" Like she gets like
That's just
apparently like really good at it. It's really weird.
That's just
Okay.
weird.
I found
weird.
I found it. Here, I'm gonna give Comfy a link to this. I'm not gonna post this in Dale's
Okay.
chat, and then I'm gonna read the synopsis for Dale.
Go for it.
So, Saint Mikolov Academy, Oribe Mafui meets a silver-haired boy called Alexander. He is a Quasar, a being who can manipulate iron and draws his power from breast milk. A mystery surrounding an icon transforms the academy into a setting for conflict between the various Quasars. The expression on Dale's face right now.
God, stop!
Listen to this. Could watch it.
Can I also bring up another show that you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
To make this better, this show has 2 seasons that are like 24 episodes long each, I think.
Oh man.
All right. So this show is called Punchline. An original anime series centers on Yuta Iridatsu, a high school student with a peculiar habit. When he sees a girl's panties, he gets so excited he faints. After a certain incident with a ghost cat, his soul gets separated from his body. Using his special powers, Yuta watches the daily lives of the inhabitants of an apartment and sometimes plays tricks on them. Eventually, Yuta decides to unlock the secrets to why Earth will be destroyed and tries to save it. It doesn't say it there, but basically, every time he sees panties, he faints and then the world explodes. And he doesn't know why the world's exploding. So he has to go through the trouble the day of saving the world without seeing a girl's panties. And believe it or not, it's harder than you think when you're a ghost boy. It is.
Is this like Groundhog Day? Is that
kind of?
I have seen half of the first episode and I stopped because I was like, what the fuck?
There's another one.
So you couldn't get through it and you think I should watch this? Is that?
Oh, no. I couldn't get through it because I wasn't trying to torture somebody while doing it. Now, I'm pretty sure.
High School DXD.
Dude, I feel like that's cheating, isn't it?
It's not cheating. Dale's Googling it now. I can see him.
This already looks like porn.
That one's not porn. It's just
ooh, there's a Nintendo DS game.
Oh my god, they're
listen, they're kawaii as fuck. I'll tell you that much. What's the plot?
By the way, I gave Dale. By the way, I gave Comfy a different link as well. I didn't tell you what it was.
I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this one because they look like cute girls.
Yes, that one is a comedy anime.
Oh, I'm about it.
So I found one, Dale, that's probably gonna make you uncomfortable, but it's also a comedy show.
Remember Konosuba? I remember Konosuba.
Okay.
So, so this one should be interesting. I think we should go with that one, Comfy. What do you think?
I'm okay with it, but really quick. So, Copper, have you seen the Konosuba OVA?
I've watched both of them.
Okay, so you know that it would be very funny if we were to make Dale watch that OVA alone, like as a side thing. The one where Kazuma's dying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just so you know, Dale, just give you some context. The plot is Kazuma puts on a collar that is supposed to grant a wish, but basically it's if you don't sell.
You
stuff
talked. We
about
talked
it.
about this last week, actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and it gets super sexual. So,
Yeah.
It's very, very.
so that's that one's for you.
Yeah. Okay. I don't.
All right.
Damn you. All right.
I can watch Dale squirming in his chair. This is great.
All right. Why don't you tell him what we're gonna be watching?
Okay, I'll give Dale
God. All
the
right.
name of the show. Hold on, let me copy and paste this.
I'll put the my anime.
Okay, there's your
Uh,
name of the show there, Dale.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if this is on Crunchyroll or that. Comp, if you want to take a
I
look.
can.
There is a dub for this.
I feel like
So
I'm
we'll be able to
content
watch
watching
the
this
dub.
one in my computer chair because then Kaylee's gonna stay out of the room. She doesn't come in here, so I'm
may watch
safe.
Uh,
Wow, I did a Google image search.
oh, don't do that.
Oh my.
It
See-
is not
see-
on Crunchyroll.
See, chat.
I hate
Dale
you.
likes to Google image search the things we look at, and that's not always a good idea.
Listen. I'm not Google image searching because I see cute girls and I'm like, cool, good. That's all we need. All I need. So we're gonna. It's you have the Japanese name there. It's called Heaven's Lost Property.
Okay.
Yes. Hold on, let me check something.
Googling. I searched as well. Now I feel wrong. Ogre, why did you do that? You made a mistake. You fucked up. Don't do that. Nobody Google this. It's weird. Don't. Bad life choices. I agree.
These are good life choices.
God damn it.
Posted it in the Weeb shit.
Oh yes, post it in the Weeb shit channel, so for
I'm
everybody
post-
who's part of our
yeah.
Discord can take a look at that.
And I'm posting it in my anime.
Yes, and the sub op one as well.
You
So
can find
aside from these, what have you guys been up to this week?
Well, I was trying to get some schoolwork done and I decided to try to learning, so I went to coolmathgames.com. Unfortunately, it's been down all week, but that doesn't mean I can't get some division in.
Yeah, I've been playing Division 2. It's real good. Recommended. Make it good.
I watched my viewer count go down. Sorry, mate.
With Addison in your chat, because he would have left. Straight up, he would have outed. He would have like, nope.
No, but so yeah, we've been all playing a lot of Division 2. I'm level 18. I want to say.
I'm 27.
I am now 26, I think.
Okay.
I've had,
So, yeah.
I've had less time to play than you guys.
Yeah, I probably won't hop back in until Tuesday. Like, I was thinking maybe doing some offline stuff today or tomorrow, but I'm just like,
I won't be back in until Friday because I'm doing my 24 hours stream this week.
Right.
Wednesday,
have fun.
Yeah. So that's like I'm driving back to Phoenix on Tuesday, and then I'm doing that on Wednesday, and then like that's gonna take all of my Thursday as well because I'm gonna be recovering, and then
I was gonna say Thursday, Comfy is sleeping.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm Thursday is a day off because I'm gonna need it to.
To not die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so I'm doing a lot of division, which everybody is. There's been no negative. It's
Yeah,
taken
I'm surprised.
Division 2. Oh my
Well,
god.
they
How fucking mad is it that we're surprised that at this point that the
Yeah.
sequel is better than the original? Oh my
Yeah.
god. Remember when and this is going to be a segue. Remember when Halo 2 was better than Halo 1? Remember when Halo 3 was better than Halo 2? Remember when Halo Reach was better than Halo 3?
Yeah. And remember when Halo
Remember
5
when,
was better than Halo 4?
Shut the fuck up. They're
when,
gonna hate-
remember when kids who are around nowadays are gonna fall, Fortnite is their Halo.
That like you
Yeah.
said that and I was like that makes too much sense.
Yeah.
But
No, it's
yeah,
definitely true.
But hey, as a transition, because like as much as we love Division, there's actually not a whole lot of talking points it can have. Hey, did you hear that Halo is coming to PC?
Yeah.
The big talking point for it is the
Very
fact that
happy.
they launched a looter shooter.
They launched a looter shooter that's
Properly.
better than its predecessor, and the servers haven't crashed. There's been
Mhm.
no main glitches. Story progression is good. Story is interesting. World is alive. Like
The only
It's
big glitch
so
I
good.
know of is with one particular version of the drone, where that particular drone, if you use it, is bugged and will cause people who enter your game, like friends and stuff like that, who are playing with you, to get booted.
That's funny.
But if you're playing single player, it doesn't affect anything, and it's not a big deal just not to use that
Huh.
particular skill.
There's all. I mean, the skills are varied enough. That's a very good thing that this has over Division 1, which was like Division 1, there was like 3 skills, and then you had like
Yes.
3 ways to use each of those skills. There's 8 base skills in this.
Yep. Each one has at
And-
least 3 or 4 options,
Yeah.
and there are a couple specialty options depending on which specialization you pick. Certain skills get special options onto them, which is an interesting thing.
No, and it's very fun because the thing is too, it's like I got a drone early on, and like everybody's like, "Oh, I'm using my drone," and they're using healing drones, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm using an assault drone." Because like what I've been doing, because I've been playing solo for, I played with Brofish and Copper for the first day, a majority of the day, to like level 10, and then the second day I played solo just because everybody was further ahead of me, and I didn't. And I was playing solo with like an assault drone, and I was using that, and I was using it to push people out of cover
Yes.
because you can
Yeah,
attack
that's
people
good
when
for
they're
that.
far away, and like you can set it on them, and then they get pushed out of cover. And especially if there's like a yellow bar or something, like if he has shields that need to be broken, I'll just stick the drone on him and deal with other things. And by the time I come back to him, his shield is close to broken.
Yeah. I love the fact there's more variety of enemy types in this game.
Oh yeah,
You know?
no,
Like
Yeah.
there's
very.
medics that go around and actually heal people. There's the guys that set up turrets and stuff.
The
I-
AI is
Yellow
fucking
guys.
smart.
Yeah,
Holy
there's
crap! I was
yellow
running
guys who run at you with
around.
hammers. There's guys who run at you with knives. There's guys who run at you who have explosives strapped to their chest. There's flamethrower guys. There's guys who spray out liquid foam to lock you in place.
The foam is really annoying.
You know, you've
Yeah.
got snipers, shotgun rushers, riflemen, guys with Uzis. Like, there's a huge number of variety of enemies, and it's great.
The
So I
snipers
was-
in the
I was
Suns,
trying
they
to play it.
good.
There's guys who use bows.
Yeah.
Guys, you
Really annoying. Yeah, there's
so, like-
some guys who use bows that have exploding arrows.
That's awesome. So I was like trying to. I was doing the like. I don't know what the mission is called. I'm just gonna call it the last array because
Oh, the I know what one you mean. The one where you
it's
have
the
to
one with
turn.
the dome. Yeah.
Yeah, where you have to turn the 3 satellite domes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was very like good mission, well thought out, and I was like trying to get behind somebody, and the AI screamed. Like not the guy I was trying to get behind, but somebody else screamed, "He's trying to flank you, move." And the AI that I was trying to flank ended up getting behind me. I got sandwiched and I ended up dying because they were smarter than me.
Oh, yeah, they'll call out to each other if you heal yourself and they see you healing. They'll call out the fact that you've used a med pack. If you have a healing drone, they're like, "He's got a healing drone. Destroy the drone." And they start targeting your drone rather than you.
They are
Like-
like actually really smart AI, and that increases the difficulty, and it
Mhm.
makes it feel so rewarding when you.
We've
'Cause
got
there's not a
set
difficulty
bonuses
slider.
on armor from the get go.
There's
The
not
weapon.
like
are
there's not
interesting.
difficulty slider yet in this game. Not for me,
Right.
at least.
Well,
Division 1.
I kind of expect that to be what the world tiers
You do
are.
get the world
Yeah.
tiers once you hit 30. You can replay mission difficulty on missions.
Yes,
Um,
and you'll
so
have
you
like
can
your
get stuff
challenge.
to hard and stuff like that. There are bounties you can go and get, which are time things to go and do. We have to kill enemies and stuff like that.
If you die, you lose the bounty.
Yeah,
Guess
if you
how
die,
I
you lose
figured
the
that out.
bounty.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of content, and then all this stuff is before Endgame. That's the real
yeah.
kicker. Once Endgame starts, you've got all this stuff plus like a good 100% more. Like they have so much stuff for the Endgame. There's so much stuff in this game. It's so worth it if you love looter shooters.
Also, so
Um,
they
You
teased
can earn.
they teased the raid
Yeah.
in some of their stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah?
It looks like we're gonna be assaulting the Capitol building.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
8-man
cool.
raid. That makes sense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the capability. Did
It-
you guys unlock any of the patches?
I did not.
Okay, so
Maybe?
when you go through and do missions and stuff like that, right? You earn commendations.
Mm-hmm.
Every commendation you completely fill up 100% gives you a patch. You just have to go
Cool.
and claim them. It's like if you go into your progress section and then go over to commendations, you can actually go into them and get a bunch of different patches. Like I have one that I really love, which is a dog's paw.
Neat.
which is really neat.
I'm a fan.
That one's not terribly hard to get. You have to patrol the city for 5 hours straight and do 8 missions while doing it. So that's all
So
it
just
takes
play
to
the game for 5 hours and do 8 missions.
as long as you're like doing patrols of the city, like going through doing like was
Like-
it like the
Speaker stations and stuff like that.
speaker stations, the hostage stuff, things like that, and go through and doing missions. Yeah, that's considered patrolling the city for stuff like that. You have to play for 5 hours straight and do like at least 8 of those. I think there's another thing you have to do as well at the same time and you get that one. So it's not
By the
terribly
way-
bad, but I love the look of it.
Fuck the hostage situations. I haven't done a single one where I can save even
where
one
they've,
hostage.
where they've saved. They are
They just
difficult.
immediately try to kill the hostage.
Yeah,
you
they're
can't do it
difficult to do
solo.
alone. They're very. I've done one successful solo. They're very difficult to do solo because they shoot the goddamn hostages.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, which is like that's how you would actually react.
yeah, it's a hostage situation. It's you versus a bunch of guys. And you're like, I'm gonna run in there and save these hostages. They're like, well, we're just gonna shoot them. Like,
Yeah,
which is
no,
what
like,
they do. It's great.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
which
it's
is-
not great they're killing hostages, but it's great.
I mean, we don't know. That hostage could
see.
super racist.
Probably not.
Could have
Very
been.
good rewards for finishing those though. Like, there's very nice rewards for finishing.
Man, I want to
Yeah.
play Division more now. I might play
Well,
some.
hey, you know what
I'm,
game?
I'm going to be doing
play,
it as soon as we're done the podcast.
I want to
don't know why.
play Borderlands 3.
Yeah, with that's another thing that happened. Borderlands 3 is being teased by Gearbox pretty hard. It also looks like
So they-
something for Borderlands 2 is being teased as well.
I'm assuming Borderlands 2 VR.
It
for
might
PC.
be Borderlands 2 VR, or it could be Borderlands 2 on the Switch.
Yeah, the Switch is the other one. I
or
think we talked
both.
as like the other.
Or yeah, it could be
Possibly.
both. Dale's right. And then
I
there's a
don't
third
know.
game they teased as well. There's a third game they teased that doesn't
They
look like
did.
Borderlands at all.
It looks
So-
the style reminds me of BioShock.
Yeah, it kind of looks like BioShock games. So
Which
Which
like
isn't
not to
their
get not to get
property,
anybody's
so-
hopes up, but it is a 2K property,
yeah, that's true.
and the original game dev that made BioShock.
Yeah, he is over there. So that
So
could be a
it's like
possibility. We
international stuff.
could be getting another BioShock, but this time from who knows?
Like Gearbox
Um,
could be like, and this is I honestly don't think it's BioShock. Just like
I don't
like,
see
the robot
them
that's-
doing it. That's a
But-
big enough property that if they are working on like moving Borderlands 2 to either VR or the Switch,
Mhm.
as well as doing Borderlands 3 at the same time, I think that would stretch them too thin because
I mean,
they're not a
Borderlands
huge
2
company.
VR is already out.
Well,
on
I mean,
PlayStation.
But not on PC. It's
But on
it's
PC
only
anyway,
out
right?
on the
It,
PlayStation.
It's definitely already playable in Fin- That's the
Probably.
thing. Just because like the way that you dev for VR, like you don't dev like straight for PlayStation. You dev for VR and then port to PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they have a PSVR version of it, and it's exclusive to that right now. But I guarantee there's a working version for Windows P
maybe.
as of
The
right
other interesting news around Gearbox and 2K and that is the fact that there's a rumor going around that Sony might buy them.
now. Oh, really?
There's a rumor going around that Sony was looking at buying like 2K and the guys who make like GTA and that. Like which is odd. But
Take
not
I
unheard
feel
of.
like
yeah, Take
I
Two.
feel like that might be too.
Too expensive?
I
Take
don't
Two is
know.
very expensive
know.
company to buy, but Sony has a fuck ton of money.
Yeah,
'Cause you
I
need
guess.
to also think that Sony isn't just
It's not
They
just
don't
games that are PlayStation.
just
They
make
own TVs, VCRs, like
cell
DVD
phones.
players, cell phones. Like they're
By the way,
huge.
the Sony smartphones
Actually,
so,
what you cut out?
Yeah.
they're actually pretty good. Like the
Yeah.
ones if you ever play Uncharted 4, they're called Curias. Like they actually have them in
Yep.
Uncharted because product placement.
Yeah.
But, like,
and then they
they're actually
license
pretty good phones.
technology as well, right? So
yeah, no, like
Sony is a very, very large electronic and technology company, and they make a lot of money. It's
if
why
they if they buy Take Two, that's
Mhm,
so much revenue for them,
mhm.
and
it's worth the purchase. That's the thing. The properties they own is worth the
it almost it almost forces Xbox to they lose the console war if Sony plays it, which isn't
Well, the
necessarily
reason
good.
Sony might be looking at it, and is the fact that Xbox themselves have been going around and buying up a bunch of companies,
Yeah,
all
but I
like
mean,
game dev companies and stuff like that. So
to be
because they really need
fair,
to pad
like
out their
Sony,
exclusives, right? Like they don't have a lot of exclusives that people are excited about. I
Xbox,
mean, what was it? Not last year because they really didn't announce anything last E3, but the one before that we had things like um, Scalebound. We had things like um,
remember Sunset Overdrive? I
um,
remember Sunset Overdrive.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten a second. So we had things like
Because
they
because it's
announced
fighting.
things like Scalebound. They announced Crackdown 3. They announced a new Fable game, and of all these big announcements they made,
Nothing's
what's the
come
one
from.
well, Crackdown 3 came out
Yeah, it did.
and
It
went.
sure did. It's a game. It's a game that
Hey
exists.
guys, it's almost
people
like
like it.
basing your entire game brand on a celebrity doesn't make it a good game.
It would have been fine had the game been fine. Like
Yeah.
basing the marketing around Terry Crews is great. He's a great marketing tool.
Terry Crews
Oh,
is great.
absolutely.
I
But
love
the-
Terry
As an
but the
Crews.
actor and a
problem is-
personality, but
I
They
said this
didn't-
before. Like
the game
Crackdown
wasn't good.
Crackdown has never marketed their games. That's not what
No.
they do. Crackdown 1 came out and it was Crackdown, like it was like the original. Crackdown 2 was sold super well and it was marketed as, hey, we
It's
have
more Crackdown.
beta. We have the beta for Halo.
Yeah,
Buy
yeah.
it. That was the reason people bought it, was because you got your streamlined
beta,
into the
yeah.
Halo 3 multiplayer beta, which was
And
insane.
people were excited for Crackdown 3 because they're like, it's going to be fully destructible environments and yada yada yada. And then
I
the game
haven't
came out
played
and
or
it's
watched anything, but I
not
heard
it.
Goth bitching about how nothing.
I'm pretty sure Goth turned it off,
Yeah, why
which
wouldn't you?
which should tell you how bad a game is because Goth will usually stick with something for a while, and I'm pretty sure he turned it off. But the graphics are kind of lame. The
They're
story
supposed to be
will,
stylized, but it just kind of looked.
yeah, they didn't look stylish. They looked
It looks
dated and
old.
old. It looks old. The buildings don't really destroy unless you're like on the cloud service, which isn't a thing for most of the modes. I know some
Right.
people enjoyed it. It's very much a flop of a game. There's no way to
Not
improve
good.
it, right? Because it's a single player basically game, so it's
Exactly.
pretty much dead in the water. And then Scalebound they canceled because they had, Xbox had issues with the way the creator of the game wanted to take the game. So they're like, no, we're canceling it. There's a big rumor that it's moving over to Twitch instead now,
That'd be
which is
fun.
gonna be great because Scalebound looked amazing. Like you were a guy who's partnered with a dragon. You get to ride around on a dragon and have a dragon partner for like the whole game. There's ginormous bosses. Like the
No.
bosses were like 100 times bigger than you were or more.
I
it
feel like
looked
it would
like
work really well on Switch too. Just
Yeah,
'cause
it looked
it
like a
was
super
cool.
fun action game. It looked like a giantly fun action game. It fits really well within the fact that they now have like Bayonetta and stuff like that, right? So
Mhm.
I kind of hope that goes over. And then Fable, well, what did they do with that? They canceled the game and closed the studio. So,
Yep.
and that game
Okay, let's
again
be real. Like,
looked interesting.
I mean, let's be real. Fable has kind of sucked.
Now, well, there's the thing. It wasn't a Fable story-based game like
It was Fable Legends, wasn't it?
It was going to be
I
like a
think
MOBA thing ish.
So it was
right?
going to be a asymmetrical MOBA-like game. So it would be one versus many. So one guy
that
would
was
be
shipped out in, like 2000.
like one guy was going to be like the DM, right, and control like the dungeon and the monsters and where to place them and stuff like that. And the other four characters who would run through and try to defeat everything and get to him and beat him. It was going to be free. The game was from the devs themselves when the game got canceled. And the studio was closed.
Lionhead
It was Lionhead, which is a big, well-known studio.
was a big well-known.
Yes, as I said, was.
I thought you said is.
So they came out and said, when after the game was canceled and the studio got closed, they're like, we're kind of surprised. We didn't really see this coming because the game is done.
Yeah.
That was the thing. The game was finished. Like, almost completely finished. Like, it was ready to go out basically for, like, beta testing. And they're like, yeah, you're closed. It's like, oh,
Huh.
okay.
But, like, let's be fair. Like,
And I think it would have done well.
the first
think-
Fable game was, like, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was special, but it wasn't amazing.
Right.
It had.
I loved it. I liked
It
it.
was
a lot.
great for its time, it was amazing.
It was
For its time, it
special.
was
That's a really high compliment. Like most games aren't special.
Yeah, most games are not special. No.
Look at most games that come out today; they're very dry. But like it had something special. Fable 2 came out and it flopped because it was garbage, and then Fable 3 was somehow even
Oh my god, Fable 3 was the biggest.
like how
Piece of crap.
do you do that as a developer? Like they had a very clear angle where they were going, and it was kind of negative. So I can see why they shut down Lionhead. I honestly I saw Fable Legends, which is what it was called. I saw it and I was like, that's not what people want.
Right,
Like,
out of a Fable game? No, it's not even.
Like,
Yeah, it was gonna be
like,
a.
it was abusing the branding.
Yeah,
which-
100%.
It was gonna be set in the same world. That's the
Yeah,
thing,
well,
right?
but that's what abusing the branding is. It's selling it as a Fable game when it's not. Like one of my favorite games of all time, Halo Wars. That's absolutely abusing.
But it was
Yes.
good though.
Oh no, it's definitely a great game. I love Ensemble Studios. Loved. And I love RTSs and Halo Wars. I knew what it was, and going into it, I bought it knowing what it was because I love RTSs. But there was a huge backlash in the community because people saw Halo on a big shiny video game product, bought it, and another Halo game. It wasn't, and
No.
that is what I mean by abusing branding. They're
Yeah,
using
okay,
it
I could see
as Fable Legends was that to an extreme level. Like they were
Yes,
very.
it was
like,
going to be a
witty about
very,
it.
very different game, but the game was also going to be free, so it's not like people would have been paying $60 and getting a bait and switch.
Yeah,
It was something they could have tried for free, and I think
they were trying to do it as a service.
most people, yeah, it was going to be a service game, right? So it was going to be, in the line of things like what we now see with Fortnite and Apex and stuff like that. It was going to be, here's the game, it's free to play, go play as much as you want. We're going to sell skins, and had it stuck around, they probably would have had a battle pass system. As soon as that became kind of a thing.
Right.
I think a game like that would actually do really well if it was free, because it offers that.
I think Wizards of the Coast could
person-
make something like that for D.
Yeah, for D&D or Magic the Gathering or something like
yeah.
that. Like they have a couple of properties they could knock something like this
I
out.
think specifically like they could make a D&D light,
Yeah,
which
like in this, there's so
is
much
what you
development in this game that anybody who really wanted to make this could probably go to them and go, hey, you closed this down, can we buy the property of this, like this particular property of coding that for you? And that would give them a good basis, because the art style was such that it was stylized enough that it wouldn't have to be updated that much into a new engine. Right? You stick it in a new engine, it's probably going to look fine, because the game looked great because it was stylized.
Yeah, no, it was a very pretty game, but like it wasn't something that I thought any Fable fans, because all of the Fable fans I know were asking for Fable 4 or Fable 1.
Yeah, they wanted a RPG, and this wasn't going to be RPG.
It's not even close.
It excited me because it was a different style of game, and asymmetrical games are something I quite enjoy in board games, and that because I'm a huge board game fan, and they're very interesting.
Speaking of, we still need to find a DM.
Yes, I think one of the easier ways to find a DM is if we tell anybody who's interested in DMing. And for those who are curious about what we mean, we're looking at creating a ongoing D&D game for streaming for on Mixer.
Yay! I'm in.
We need a DM. I think it would be easier to find one if we say, hey, until we get our feet wet as a group, and the DM gets really comfortable, doing it on the stream and and whatnot, as well as with us as a group, we should probably run through the pre-made stuff that Wizards puts out, because there's a lot of that there. It makes it way easier on the DM because they don't have to sit down and try to put everything together themselves.
Okay, this is where I jump in and I talk about how I DM'd for a group for a little while. It was fun. I feel like I was okay at it. It takes a lot of work though. It takes a lot of like prep time, and I don't.
There is a lot of work to put into DMing when you're building your own and adventures and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons I say if we look at using the the pre-made stuff from Wizards, it makes the job a lot easier because it's all there in a book for you.
Yeah, but you
Right.
still have to be able. You still have to like read ahead and prep
You do.
and,
there
and
is
all that.
some
It definitely makes it a
prepping.
lot easier for sure. But it's still just like
Yes.
that's. I
Especially
don't know.
since I have access to pretty much all that stuff for free. So I could give it to whoever we have DMing. They don't have to buy anything. It's just like, here, have books.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to do that though. I don't know.
So if we find a DM, I mean, we have enough people who would be interested. We should probably.
We have more than enough people. Like I'm
I meant to talk to you, Comfy, about putting. I don't know if we want to make it a channel or just put something in general until we, get a little more interest in the spun up in the group, like talking about it. If we want to, put something in sub up, seeing are there people here who'd be interested in playing, as well as, is there anybody here who'd be interested in running a group, like a DMing group, where we run through this stuff till we all kind of all gel together, and then if you want to make your own thing, we can go from there.
I'm just gonna peek behind the curtain really quick. We do have we talked about it before. It's a very open idea. The heads of sub-op really want to do it, but the problem is, like, I've DM'd before, but
Yeah.
I don't have I don't have the time to like barely stream right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have the time to run a group. I can't build a world. I can't make the effort. I might be doing an IRL one, but that'll be with a bunch of people who are high all the time, so I don't have to put in nearly as much effort.
Well, see, that's
Trust me, it'd be really fun. It'd be really fun too.
That is why I recommend the pre-made stuff, right? Like that we could go
and
through.
I'd probably use pre-made for that. Red has DM'd before, but he doesn't have enough time to run it. Amarog, who's our usual DM, he's busy working on our side project, and we finish that. He's going to be DM for that.
Right.
But because he's working on that, he doesn't have time to run it. So, like, my go-to people are out of it right now, so we're trying to.
I wonder if Amarog would be up for running a campaign where it is just the pre-made books. That might be easier on him. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he doesn't. I don't think he likes stuff like
the pre-made stuff.
Yeah, like he's very into one of the things he really, really likes about it is world building and like creating all of that stuff. And it's very limited when you do use a pre-made book. That's pretty limited.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
This is your surrounding area.
Yeah, you're running through what's there.
Yeah.
It does make it easier though when someone is not as comfortable DMing or wants to get used to a group first, stuff like that. And some of the material is actually really interesting. And from a stream standpoint, I think it would actually be added value for people who do turn in, because they could get to see, here's some of the stuff that's available. Like, this is what we think of the products. This is, things that are out there. If you're new to it, if you're looking to get started, here's a good place to start. These are good adventures to go through and start. Everybody gets their feet wet. It shows the ease of getting into this as a hobby.
Yeah. But so it's definitely something that we're working on. It's definitely something I want to get done. But hey, that side project is that he's working on will be really fun when it's finally done. It has stuff to do with like space and magic. So why don't we switch over to Destiny talk?
We can do that.
Have you guys been playing Destiny this week at all?
No, I have not done.
I haven't touched Destiny in over a week. I played a bit when Gambit Prime came out.
Same. I haven't touched it since though.
I haven't touched it since because other stuff came up. I was doing work, and then Division 2 came out, and
very much so Division.
Division is very addicting to play.
So for people who are unaware, the Allegiance quest started this week, as well as Invitations of the Nine.
And the Thorn.
Yeah, it was actually a really big week in Destiny. So the Thorn quest, 500 void kills in Crucible, everybody's favorite thing to do. Nobody's mad about it. It actually wasn't bad at all. Like,
no, it's not.
And you also don't say that you don't lose. Yes.
Yeah.
They got rid of that. I know people are like, well, it should be difficult. Yes, getting so many kills in Crucible is very difficult for people who on normally. Putting the punishment mechanic on top of it just frustrates them and makes them stop playing, and that's not something you want to do as a game dev.
Yeah, no, they like it's very good. All of the steps. So the first 3 steps, you have to kill. You have either it's kill warlocks or run strike, kill titans or do adventurers, kill hunters or do escalation protocol. Like there's an option, or
to do PvE, yeah.
And also for all of those, for the warlock ones, it's or complete IO bounties. For the Titan ones, or complete bounties on Titan, and for the Hunter one, or complete bounties on Mars, because it's matching you up with Mars has
the Vanguards,
Anna Bay, Titan has Clone, and IO has Ashermere.
Right.
But so that the quest was really well done. You do that, then you run a strike, and apparently everybody that runs a strike is an idiot, which is hilarious to me. Because so in the last like 6th of boss health, because you run the Savathun song,
right?
The boss's like last 6th of health, it spawns 2 arbiters, not from Halo, just their giant knights. And you have to kill both of them. However, if you kill the boss, they despawn, and a bunch of jackasses just run in and burn down the boss, and then those guys don't spawn, and they have to rerun the strike all over again, and it's 660 with a bunch of modifiers that make everything one-hit you. So it's got like blackout and arc burn on. And you're fighting Thrall. We were in a healing well. We were in a super rift, and full health, full shields, and got one shot.
Oh my!
Wow, it's
pretty brutal.
That's an oof.
Yeah, it's not impossible because it doesn't have the Nightfall modifier where you go back to orbit, but it's still pretty brutal. That quest is good. Thorn is really fun. The way that it works in Destiny 2 is you hit for 68 on crit, and you do 4 ticks of 2 damage. If you kill someone or something, which is actually makes this gun really good in PvE, you get a buff that all of your damage ticks are now 7 instead of 2.
Yes.
Which is a lot of extra damage, and it makes the gun 2-tap, which is super strong. And also, killing multiple things, say you're in PvE, say you kill a bunch of Thrall, they'll all drop that buff, and the buff stacks, not damage-wise, but time-wise.
Oh.
You can have it for like 30 seconds.
Oh, that's really cool. I need to get the Thorn.
I also watched the video earlier of there's a group of people that 3-plated Callus only using Thorn. They ran out of ammo. Like the guy who was recording shot his last 3 bullets for Thorns, because they're definitely not bullets. Shot the last 3 at Callus during his like stun phase at the end, where you have to break his shield. So that's super cool. Thorn is really good. It lives up to the hype. People are bitching about some visual recoil, but it's really not bad because it's Thorn.
Right.
And
people are saying it has an odd.
It's exactly the same as it was in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Like it's weird for a gun, but you need to keep in mind you're shooting massive like bolts. Like that's something I would hold my tents like tarp down with.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah, if you ever go and look at Thorn's actual, quote bullets,
it's bigger than my water bottle that I'm holding up for the camera right now. So like you need to keep that in mind, and it makes sense like why it's so massive. But hey, you know what? Thorns are weapons of sorrow, and you know who gave it to you and helped you out was the Drifter. And you know what? He needs our help because the Allegiance quest dropped this week.
He's definitely up to some shady shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's 100% shady.
I don't
also
like him.
added a
right pick.
There is also the Zur invitation for the 9 to go pick up if you haven't picked it up this week.
I can get to that in a second.
So that actually leads to a cutscene. So yes, they are adding cutscenes in. If you don't have one, go pick it up. If you're hearing this, because Zur is leaving. So Pick that
Also,
up.
he's currently selling like the best warlock exotic in the game,
Yeah, that too.
so I'd buy that.
Wait, Zur is
Chromatic-
leaving?
Well, he's only here on the weekend.
Oh, duh.
That's what I'm talking about. Also,
Right.
all of the Invitation of the Nine quests also are tarot cards, which I really like.
Yeah.
So the one that I got this week was the World. I don't know if everybody got it. But then like other ones are like the Hanged Man, the Joker, stuff like that. I really like. I really like tarot cards just like as a meme. They're in Critical Role has a really cool set of tarot cards that they sell. The original stands used in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are tarot cards. All of the characters in Persona 5 are based off of tarot cards. Like, it's a very fun thing that people just throw out. Like the main character in Persona 5 is Joker, so believe it or not, he's the fool.
Yep.
And then you have like the Hanged Man and the World and all of the fun things. But so those are all the missions. They're all relatively simple. You get a cutscene. This week's cutscene, spoiler alert. It's really not that much of a spoiler. But it's the Drifter talking to the emissary of the Nine. Her name is Orin. Doesn't tell you that, but we know that because lore. And basically, she gives him the big ass rock that he's carrying behind his ship. She says the Nine have chosen you as worthy and gives him the rock. After Shadow of Yore tries to kill him, which actually, like, if you look at the armor and stuff, they did some actual thinking with his armor. He's got shards. It's all uniquely colored. He's got a mask of the prodigal mask.
So he looks evil. Like, it's great.
He looks evil, and like it looks real. It looks like a character.
Yeah.
In Destiny, it doesn't look like some random guy that spent too much time. It looks just like a normal guy, which is what makes it so good because he was supposed to be a Shadow of Yore. And then the Drifter basically summons a taken captain like a dog and kills him. It's pretty cool. Highly recommend. You can watch it online if you miss it, but you can get the invitation for the next 2 days because he will be leaving on day.
So you have to go talk to Zur, and he just gives you a quest that you do to get the cutscene?
It costs 9 shards to pick up the quest.
How long is the quest?
This one is Run Lake of Shadows, and then you need to kill Cabal, Taken, and Fallen in the EDZ. And there's every time you kill one, there's a chance
of dropping like a little orb thing to pick up.
Like it's like essence.
Yeah.
And you need 9 of each.
9 of each. Yeah.
Because the 9. But
so you won't be able to get this cutscene again next week.
I don't.
Next week is probably going to be a different cutscene because Zur's going to bring a different invitation of the 9, and you're going to probably thing. So
basically, the invitation of the 9 is you go into the rock in the back, which if nobody's seen by now, it's made by the 9, so it takes you to eternity. And so you go into the rock and you basically talk to Orin, and she's like, "I want to tell you about the Drifter. I want to tell you like the past of him. Here you go." And then she shows you the cutscene. You experience a vision. But
I feel like I'm missing quests then and stuff. I should probably do that.
No, it's pretty cool. You should actually check it out. Also, so the Allegiance quest was this week, where you side with the Vanguard or the Drifter. The Drifter being, the Drifter, and if you side with the Vanguard, you're siding with Honor, who is a warlock of the Praxic Order, who is trying to inspect the Drifter and figure out what shady shit he's up to so that she can turn him into the Order of Praxic Fire and they can be like, yeah, let's kill him. But believe it or not, anybody who picks the Vanguard is a fucking snitch, and you're all fucking wrong. So really quick, before I go off on a tangent about how you're all wrong and bitches, I know that there are a lot of people who are saying that they chose. Oh, did you choose the Vanguard?
I didn't do one. I didn't pick one.
That's what I fucking thought. So before, like, there's a lot of people who are saying that they chose the Vanguard in memory of Cade. I'd like to lead off with your stupid Cade started Gambit, or he tried to start Gambit. if you do I forget what the quest is called, the Ace of Spades quest, when you walk around and you listen to all of his tapes.
Uh-huh.
The one that he talks about to the Drifter, he's like, Gambit was my idea. You know that, right? It's a good thing I helped you set it up. Because Cade was the Vanguard guy who they talked to for it. It was Cade, Shin Malphur, and the Drifter setting up Gambit. So, hey, Cade helped the Drifter out. Also, Ikora and Zavala both know about it and both let it happen because they know the ulterior motives. So they're on the Drifter's side too. And if you side with the Vanguard, you're actually siding with Anor, who's a snitch and is just going around saying, I don't trust him. I don't think it's good enough. And even while you're doing the goddamn missions for Anor, because I sided with her on my second character because there's different content depending
Yes.
on
Who you
depending
pick.
on how you side. And I'm not one to miss out on content. So I sided with her. I role played it. So my Titan is diehard Vanguard for the city. So he goes for that. My hunter walked into the Vanguard room, said, hey, guess what? Looked Zavala in the eyes and flipped him off with both hands while slowly backpedaling out of the room. But
This is the option Comfy would actually do, for those wondering.
Yes. And then my Warlock was just too interested in the darkness, so the Warlock is siding with the Drifter as well. But so during your quest for Anor, if you side with her, the goddamn emissary of the Nine, Orin, will call you up and be like, listen, it's a great idea to put him on trial. It really is. But trust me, he's right. Like, you're wrong. Like, you get a phone call in the middle of a mission from Orin saying, hey, you're wrong. And if you side with Drifter, like, you go through and it doesn't, like, show you the, like, lengths of how right he is. But hey, as someone who knows the future of the lore, side with the Drifter if you're not an idiot.
Okay.
Or snitch.
Or snitch. Okay.
Which is actually funny enough. If you side with the Vanguard and then play Gambit Prime, he'll call you a snitch.
Yeah, he makes fun of you.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what? Gonna tell everybody about everything I'm doing? Huh? Think you're so cool?
Yeah, so he straight up makes fun of you if you side against him.
Well, I will take my Hunter through with the Drifter first, and then I will have my Titan side with the Vanguard, and my Warlock I probably won't touch because I hardly ever touch my Warlock.
Yeah.
Like I finally got my Warlock to like 650, like a month ago. Yeah. Like I was just like, this week in Destiny, I'm playing my Warlock, hitting 650. Okay, cool.
This week in Destiny, I'm playing Division 2.
Same. No, I want to get to Destiny at some point this next week to do the Thorn. I'm tempted to do the thing where I get to see that cutscene right now. If it doesn't take like a super amount of time, maybe while I have this rendering, I'll do that. Possibly.
Also, slightly disappointed in the Reckoning 3rd level.
I haven't touched it
because I watched it and it took people not even 10 minutes to do. The boss fight is not super, like there's not a bunch of mechanics for the boss fight. It's just like this one damage phase mechanic thing, and that's mostly so you just don't take a bunch of damage. It's not even a wipe. It's just you take a bunch of damage.
It was a disappointment. I watched somebody I don't like, so I'm not going to name him. It was just the first video I saw, but I straight up watched this unnamed person roll through tier 3. First try, under-leveled, flawless time trial. Like, it was that easy. They just took out the Wardcliff coil and did half of Oryx's damage right then and there.
Yep, because the coil does a shit ton.
Exactly, like Wardcliff coil is the new meta.
But and the modifier, the first day it launches, the modifier is heavyweight.
Ouch.
I just want to point out, Zephy said that she sided with the Vanguard only so her friend and her could see different content stuff since they only have one character.
Up to that level, yeah.
So
I am happy they put in the bounties, guys.
Well, Zephy, it's too bad that you chose the wrong side.
Don't listen to him, Zephy.
Everybody is going to be so sad that they picked the Vanguard. Oh my god. It amazes me.
Watch if you
people-
don't. If they really want to make people mad, come like September when they start looking at launching new stuff, where it's just them launching stuff, and it's probably going to do more of a service style game than anything else. Watch them go. Oh, you sided with the Vanguard. Okay, here's your new stuff. Oh, you sided with the Drifter. Okay, here's your darkness based powers.
Well, no, okay, so the
Once they
leaks
didn't
the
pick that
leaks we
for a
have
second.
about Destiny 3 say that darkness powers are in it,
Yes.
which is or are planned, which
Yep.
is first of all very possible with the lore, and with the lore that I've read, it's gonna happen if you choose the right side, and you're guys, like, I can't spoil it for you. I'm not going to because I'm not that guy, but God, you're picking the wrong side. What would Dad say? Also, if anybody,
Side with the Vanguard, son.
like,
Huh.
also if anybody is saying that Shin Malfour would want you to side with the Vanguard, remember who set up Gambit. Thanks, guys.
Now I'm picking Vanguard. All right, Ogre, you have fun. I'll do both.
I'm shaking my head at Ogre.
Do I delete my Warlock, though? That's the question. Do I only have 2 characters?
I don't know.
No.
I probably won't delete the Warlock, but I just probably won't play it for God knows how long again. So
I'm curious to see what Oddprince is going to hold, but yeah, right now I'm not super driven. Like, there's some things I want to get done in Destiny, but
yeah,
like the Division is just holding my attention so hard right now.
yeah,
I haven't even gone back to play Anthem yet, and they just updated the loot, where it's way easier to get stuff, which is fine. Well, it's a change that people were asking for, and they did. So I'm happy
but
that.
I still don't care. Like
Now
they
new content is apparently supposed to be coming out this month.
It's got to be a decent chunk of new content, or I'm not going to give a fuck. Like, it's got to give me.
I'll go in and play the new stuff, and then probably go back to Division. Like, just
yeah, like I don't think I
stuff,
give a shit about Anthem.
I'll probably jump in, play a little bit of the new Destiny stuff, and then just go back to the.
It's a big bummer because I was hoping to have my. I was expecting to have a lot of Anthem and Division 2 on the channel. Now it's just going to be like, well, Division 2 and I guess Destiny 2.
I think we'll get Anthem stuff eventually.
It's going to be too late. You got to keep in mind, EA might just pull the cord before BioWare has time to fucking
They might. It is EA.
ready things. Yeah.
I think if they had time, BioWare would definitely fix it because they are very on the ball. But
yeah,
I don't know if EA will give them time.
That's
EA
what I
is
think.
very much. We want a FIFA situation with all their games because of how much money they make from FIFA. So
yep.
But they've also gotten their hand slapped when they tried that with their Star Wars titles. So I don't know. I don't know if they've learned their lesson from that or not. We are apparently supposed to be getting a new Star Wars game at some point.
Yeah, there's the one that Respawn's working on.
Yes, the one that Respawn
that's supposed to come out this year, right? Like at some point.
I think so. I think it's supposed to come out this year, and I'm very curious.
That might be
seen
fun.
Nothing from it, but Respawn also makes really good games. Titanfall, Apex, they're very good at what they do. So
hopefully it'll be good. We'll see.
I'd love to get a role-playing game for Star Wars rather than just shooters, but I don't know if we're gonna get that.
Yeah, we'll see what we end up getting. If it's good, it'll be great. I'm hoping. I love Star Wars. Like, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
I still wish we would have gotten, like, was it 1313? I think that was the code name for it. I would have loved that to actually have gotten finished.
Yeah, isn't that the game that you're like a bounty hunter or something?
Yes, that was the game where you're going to be a bounty hunter. Star Wars, universe and mythos as a bounty hunter hunting down criminals, which would have been really interesting and a very different story than pretty much every other story we've got where you're playing one of the Jedi or the Sith who are not that common in the world, and there's all these other really interesting people over here that you never get really to play as.
Yeah.
So that would have been cool. Hopefully someone will eventually down the line do something along the lines that doesn't get canceled by Disney. I mean, to be fair, Disney canceled everything at the time for game-wise because they want out of the game-making stuff, so...
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess if they don't want to be in it, then yeah.
Yeah, that's why they got rid of everything. So
it's a bummer.
They just didn't see. It's very expensive, and doesn't have guaranteed returns, which is something Disney loves. Which is why they stick to movies and stuff like that. Speaking of, I saw Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
Definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, I want
100%
to,
worth
but
the watch.
Kaylee never wants to go see those Marvel movies in theaters, so we always have to wait for.
That would make.
Yeah, I mean, I could go see it by myself, but I'm just like, nah, no thanks.
And of course, the movie finishes. It was good. Credits start to roll, and then half the theater gets up and leaves. And I'm like, where the fuck are you going? It's a Marvel movie. Sit your ass down.
I have not seen it yet. I'm probably gonna see it next week with my friend.
The
but-
end credit scene, you need to see it. Otherwise, Endgame is going to start, and you're going to go, huh? Because you're going to be missing something that's very.
It's gonna. I figure what it's gonna be. But hey, you know what
it's
other
very
movie
interesting.
came out? Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel Part 2.
Yeah, I heard that was coming out.
I don't know what that is.
You know when I make
it's
you watch Fate Zero?
Yeah, okay,
It's a
it's
Fate
a
Zero
Fate movie.
It's
Yeah, I
a
don't,
Yeah, it's a
I
Fate
don't care about it.
movie. It's not Fate Zero.
so
I don't
it's
care
the
about
same
it.
thing, just in movie form. A slightly different story. As you can tell, I'm not riveted by those.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was a great
not
movie.
interested.
I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It
So,
also
yeah.
starts off in a really great way. Not the movie itself. Because Stanley had passed away.
Uh-huh.
There's a tribute to. He does make a cameo in the movie because he did shoot that before he passed.
Yeah.
There's actually a call out to one of his good friends in his cameo, which is hilarious and very touching because I think Stan had an inkling this might be his last time. But the movie starts where how they always have the Marvel starting that comes up where the show.
Yes, I think I heard about this. They just did a Stan Lee.
It's Stan Lee. It's all of his little roles he's had in all the movies and stuff like that, showing instead of like the comic panels and stuff like that on Marvel, and then it just says "Thank you, Stan." And it's as the girlfriend said when we saw it yesterday, if they kept that opening, like that Marvel opening with just showing Stan for every other Marvel movie, I wouldn't care. I would be perfectly fine with that because those properties really wouldn't exist without him. So
I mean, yeah, he did make them, so yeah.
he made most of them, and the ones he didn't make, he worked basically as the chief editor for, right?
Okay.
So or as a writer for. So he had a huge influence on Marvel as a whole. It's a very good tribute, and I was happy to see it. It was nice. It was a nice touch to someone who was so influential for the hobby and stuff like that. You lost Comfy again. I think
Yeah, Comfy. I hope
having
he's
to get
alright.
up and down. It's fine.
Yeah. I think I might. Oh, excuse me. Yawning. I think I might have just heard him. I don't know.
So what is your plan for the rest of, well, I guess for the coming week, actually, since it's Sunday.
Almost
Monday.
Stop it. I don't know. Division 2, I want to hop into Destiny 2 at some point this week. I'm tempted to, after we do this, I want to go do that quest and see the cutscene and shit, but it's just like...
Yeah.
I guess
I'll go pick mine up. I probably won't do it today if I pick it up, but I'm probably just going to jump back into Division and do more stuff
Well,
there.
will you lose that? If you pick up the quest, will you lose it
I don't think so. I don't think it's time sensitive to losing it. I think it's
I just have to
sensitive to
picking it up.
Or
So you
it
think
might
I
be-
could pick it up and then work on it at some point this week?
I think so. It might
Okay,
be one
I
of
might.
the bounties were like a weekly bounty, kind of 7 days, right? And so you've got the rest of the week to kind of do it. So,
Okay.
I can't
We'll
see
see.
them going, you need to do it now, right? Like it's done in 24 hours. I don't see that being the thing.
Okay. Because I don't want to miss it, but at the same time, I got others.
Especially since you need to buy it for shards. I can't see them putting like a
That's
low
true.
time limit cap on it if they're
Yeah, but
make
if
it
I end
down
up
in
buying it and then I wait until I'm able to, stream the quest, and then
that
I'm
would
not
be
able
better
to do
for
the
you, yeah.
quest, I would be disappointed.
Well, if you go and buy it, right, it'll tell you if there is a time limit on it.
That's
So,
true.
there's
Yeah.
that.
Okay, I could do that.
Like
You can
you'll
finish
know.
the 9 quest.
Yeah. Is there a time limit on it, Comfy?
I didn't see one.
Okay,
didn't
so
think
I
there
could
would
pick
be
it up
because you have
today
to
and then
spend
do it
resources
like
on it.
maybe Thursday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'd do it before the next one comes because I don't know.
Yeah.
Allegedly, there was no particular order of the quests. That's why,
Uh-huh.
like I said, I don't know if everybody got the same one I did. And
Okay.
like, there's no particular order for quests. And like, I don't
have
know if
you-
like you'll get screwed over if you have
I
one
don't
in
think
inventory.
you will.
Because it might do the whole like that you can only hold one of these in your inventory, or like you can only complete one of these a week. That's my thought process. Because that has been known to happen in Destiny before.
Okay.
So I just tried to do it before Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would just
okay.
pick it up and then you've got like.
I'll probably hop in on Destiny 2 on like Wednesday or Thursday then.
Have
Yeah,
you guys
and then,
started picking up the golden eggs in Reckoning for the lore?
No, I have not.
No, I haven't done.
I've
No.
done very little Reckoning. I haven't done T2, and I've definitely not done T3.
Yeah, I haven't even tried either of them yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't know if we'll be playing a ton of Destiny. Before Opulence comes out, where we get a new raid and stuff like that. Just because I'm kind of tied up in another game. So
Something I'm really excited about actually is they're doing another community summit.
yes, they are doing
Oh,
another community summit.
Nice.
For
Is
Season
this-
of Opulence.
Cool.
The
Very
only
cool.
I've only seen two people because I haven't super paid attention to it. I heard they were doing one. I know Glad is going,
Yes.
which is great because if anybody's going to have input for a raid, what is necessary in a raid, I hope they're not going to show him anything from it. It would knock him out of, running for worlds
Contention.
first. Is Glad in his group because they have what is it, three or
Redeemed, yeah.
four world first nows?
4 worlds firsts. They had they had Vault of Glass. They had I want to say Wrath.
I think they got Wrath as well. Yeah.
They got Last Wish.
Yeah.
And they got Leviathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 4.
Yeah.
And then Pro Bro and Goth's team got King's Fall.
Yeah.
And
I
think a no-name group got Argos.
they weren't streamers. It was some German group I think that got Argos, and then
I think I want to say it was some like Japanese or Korean group that got Crota.
I think so.
It was either that or they were the true winners of VOG and Redeem was
and then
correctly shown.
And then the newest raid was what's his face?
Gigs.
Gigs
won that one.
He was super happy. Yeah. It probably would have been Goth's group there had they been getting DDoS for the whole raid.
That was such bullshit.
Especially since they got to the final boss half an hour before everybody else and then couldn't do anything because they just constantly got DDoSed at that time. So
it was so brutal. I'm still waiting on my raid jacket for that. I'm so excited to wear that around and flex.
But yeah, I'll probably hop more back in for Destiny when Opulence comes out because there's more interesting things. I'm happy Glad is going to the thing. I think Ramshackle is going as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember who this other person I saw was.
I'm pretty sure Ramshackle
It looks like they're trying to not have all the same people.
Yes, they're trying to bring other.
So I'm assuming we'll see. Like last time, it was a lot of the big name people.
Mm-hmm.
Like Goth was there, Slayer Age was there, Dado was there, Giggs was there, Dr. Lupo was there. Like it was all the bigger name people in the community, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you do need a variety of voices. And like it feels like they're leaning a little more like Glad for all intents and purposes is a smaller guy than a lot of the other people.
He is. But if you're gonna talk about raids, he's one of the better people too.
Yeah.
About what people want, what's challenging, and stuff like that. Because he's part of a group that goes after the super hard content, right? And tries to solve the super hard content. These are the same guys who went super hard on that stupid puzzle that ended up being broken.
Labs.
Yeah, so they were good people to bring in. I'd like to see Dado come back in as well. He's good for that.
very good for the lore stuff. I know that they've been bringing Mile in games in.
Yes, they bring Mylan goes in
because he's been working on. He works with the lore anthology book. That's one of the things he does.
Like I'm pretty sure Ramshackle got invited, and I think she's going, which is surprising because she's European and it's a very long flight for her from where she's at apparently. So
hey,
but it's good because she does for those who don't know, she runs a website that helps get information out about the game and stuff like that. Answers lore questions as well and stuff like that, and general questions about the game. So she's
To be fair, again though, they have Mylan fly in, and he's Australian.
Yes.
So
well, he might not mind the flight. I think she minds. I don't think is a fan of flying. So
okay, yeah.
Flying intercontinental when you don't like the travel or don't like flying.
Yeah, that'll kill. I'm fine with long flights. I just
it's like sticking Goth on a plane, going, okay, we're going to Australia. He'd be opening the door.
Yeah, he'd open the emergency exit because he does not like flying. See, you gotta tell him that after
after the plane's up and after he's taken his,
like
relaxing drug.
Once he realizes that he'd be screwing over everybody else, don't think it'd happen. But,
so what was the anime that we're actually going to be talking about next week? I don't think we ever mentioned it. It was in chat.
I don't think we read the name out.
Sora
yeah.
No Otoshimono.
Or Heaven's Lost Property in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Heaven's Lost Property in English. It's going to be a fucking awful one, and I'm going to hate it. I'm going to bitch the whole fucking time.
I think Dale's going to be like, oh my god, what are you making?
Yeah.
I don't like big anime titties.
There's whatever. Okay. All right. Make it sound like I'm some fucking prude. Good lord.
Dale looked uncomfortable just
Jesus Christ. All right.
Thick anime titties. Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick.
Oh my god.
Slapping my ass cheeks is alerting the guards.
God fucking damn it. All right.
Hey,
Comfy, where can people on the internet find you? You've recently done some things.
Oh, man. Hey, so remember last week when you could find me at the Comfy Gamer and all that stuff? Yeah, fuck that. So yeah, now you can find me at mixer.com/Comfamous. You can find me on Twitter at Comfamous. You can find me on Instagram at Comfamous. And believe it or not, you can find me on Snapchat at Comfamous.
That's for your ladies out there.
Oh my god. So we had the funniest conversation. Because I actually am uploading stuff to that because I'm trying to be more regular with all social media. So I'm uploading to Instagram, I'm uploading to Twitter, I'm uploading to Snapchat. I'm trying to be regular about that. And I had a friend staying over, sleeping on my couch. And I was just sitting there, and him and my roommate just start flossing at me because they kept making memes that I looked like Ninja the entire night, which trust me, made me very I'm actually gonna shave off my hair, and then I'm gonna try to re-dye it a little more vivid than it is.
You're gonna shave off your hair? You're trying to copy Mr. Vengeance now?
Oh my
god!
Not all of it, trust me. But so, they were flossing at me, and I recorded the video and I posted it, and I realized I only have 3 people on this Snapchat. It's 2 girls I met on Tinder, and then my friend Teddy. So essentially 3 girls I met on Tinder. And I was like, huh, this is weird. But
hey, at least you're making progress with Tinder.
Funny. I actually talk to people.
I know.
All right. Hey, Copper, where can people find you?
You can find me at Copper Lion on Mixer, as well as Copper Lion Art and Copper Lion Designs on Twitter and Instagram. And Monsieur Dale.
Hi, you can find me at mixer.com/Mr. Vengeance and on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Vengeance X7. All right, so next week, what is it called?
Heaven's Lost Property, Dale.
Heaven's Lost Property in English. I don't know what the fuck.
I posted my anime list link in the.
Yeah, I saw the link posted, so we're gonna be watching that. So next week we'll be talking about that.
you might be able to find this one on Crunchyroll or something. I know
That's-
it's not on Netflix.
I think you
so
might
don't
actually
look
be able to as well.
I'm
there.
okay.
I think it might be on Crunchyroll. I think, however, Dale is going to watch this one in his computer where his girlfriend can't see it.
I mean,
He's
she
kinda
can.
nodding. Okay.
It's like I'm not gonna not let it. No, yeah, it'll be fine. All right. So until next week, guys. Thanks for hanging out. You all have good weeks. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.